Dusclops is back in Generation 9, and even though it doesn't have the same usage as it did in the Dynamax format, it ended up making top 8 at the Peoria Regional Championship, and it is a really strong partner next to Bloodmoon Ursaluna. We'll find out why Dusclops is strong in this video. This team features the duo of Dusclops and Bloodmoon Ursaluna alongside some really strong support Pokemon. The idea of the team is to utilize the Dusclops with the Bloodmoon Ursaluna, so you have Brick Break on this Dusclops, which helps out against screens, which is really nice, as well as the ability to hit the Bloodmoon Ursaluna super effectively, so you can trigger a weakness policy and dish out a huge amount of damage, especially with that Terra Normal. Then with the support mons, you have Fake Out with Iron Hand, Self Set of Trick Room alongside Volt Switch to reposition next to the Bloodmoon Ursaluna more safely. You have to Follow Me from Ogre Pond in the Wellspring form, which is very nice against Floramain Chiyu, which can give Dusclops a lot of trouble. You have the Choice Specs Chiyu, which helps out against like Golden Go and is a great wall breaker in case. It also helps support the Bloodmoon Ursaluna because you can switch out into your Chiyu and have the Bloodmoon Ursaluna with the weakness policy already set up, plus the Hyper Voice. It is really hard to switch in that combination. And Landis variant, which of course gives Intimidates to help support the Dusclops alongside the other Pokemon. U-Turn Pivot is really strong as well. I made a recreation of this team for the ladder, and specifically the real big change here was going to be the Frisk on the Dusclops over Pressure, because I like having Frisk when playing Stadium Ladder at Peoria Regionals. He didn't have to deal with it because he had an open team sheet, but Frisk is very nice, and then the EV spreads are my own adjustments from here. If you'd like to check out the details of that recreation and the original creator, I will link them down below in the description. Ninetales, Glamora, Dragonite, Qianpao, Dondozo, Tatsugiri. Man, I wish I had Haze on the Clops right now. Although this isn't like a terrible matchup, I do have a few things that could go really well here. Let's see, how do I want to perform against this? If they get a Roarveil up, it's pretty annoying, but like I don't have the best options to prevent that. For the most part, I have Landers that can Intimidate, but I don't think it's really valuable. Clops is really good here. I do want to bring the Clops. I think I want to bring Iron Hands. Or yeah, I think I want to bring Iron Hands. I think I'm going to go with Iron Hands, Dusclops. And then in the back, I'm going to go with the Ursaluna and the Wellspring Ogre Pond. So I have a few advantages to take care of the Dondozo Tatsugiri. I have Wisp on the Dusclops, which is actually a pretty big helpful factor because it'll negate any leftovers recovery. Pain Split on Clops is also pretty nice because if the Clops gets low, I can Pain Split the Dondozo and take away a bunch of its HP. So I don't think like this is too bad. It's just going to be a pretty long drawn out one because of Roarveil, Mortal Spin, all those factors are going to be pretty annoying to deal with, as we do see the Glamora plus the Ninetales. It's just not fun dealing with these teams, but I can deny the Roarveil here by clicking Fake Out and just go for a, let's see, Focus Sash on the Glim, which is not too surprising, and it is Citrus Berry on the Ninetales. Citrus Berry, what? Okay. I'm going for my Trick Room here. Actually, do I want a Trick Room? Oh wait, I don't care about a Roarveil. I have Brick Break on the Clops. I completely forget that at times, so I might just go for the Heavy Slam in the Ninetales. Do I want to Trick Room now or do I want to wait? I think I want to wait a turn. I think I'm going to burn the Glamora to break a Sash, and I'm just going to go for... Oh, wait, I don't have Heavy Slam either. I'm so mixing up the team. Okay. That changes things. Yeah, does that change things? Not really. I think I'm just going to go for a... You know what? No, I will Trick Room here, and I'm going to Volt Switch out to Glim. Yeah. You get up a Roarveil, which is fine. They're going to Mortal Spin and, you know, do like the standard Glim stuff. Oh, they Earth Power instead. No Mortal Spin. That actually is better for me. Okay, I'll definitely take that. For Death Drop, I'm really glad I got the Volt Switch out then. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We're going to go out into our into our Ursaluna here. Get that Trick Room up. It's looking pretty strong right here for my Ursaluna now, so I will gladly take this. As Trick Room will go up. I want to scout for Protect from the Glamora. I think I'm just going to Brick Break the Ninetales here. And I'm just going to go for Protect. Yeah, I don't really see a drawback to this one. They might protect the Glamora to stall out Trick Room. I would, or Spiky Shield, I would really like to get rid of this screen here before I attack the Glamora, because like if they tear the Glamora here, if they want to like survive the Earth Power, then I could just lock in a Hyper Voice plus the Terra Normal next turn, and it'd be really, really hard for them to stop me here. So that's basically the goal. So protect the Ursaluna. Looks like no Terra involved. This might be a Spiky Shield though. It is going to be a Brick Break coming out. Okay, beautiful. Aurora Veil is no longer a factor. Sludge Bomb. No Mortal Spin, which is really nice here. Nice. No poison. They go for Icy Wind, which I'll gladly take Icy Winds. Gladly. Okay, nice. So they're not doing anything to Clops, and you know, this is the perfect opportunity to get a Brick Break off into the Ursaluna. Might as well go for the Terra normal because my Iron Hands doesn't Terra in this matchup, and Ogerpon can Terra, but I don't think it's really necessary. I'm just going to go for my Earth Power here into the Lamora. Let's see. If they Terra, I wonder how much damage this does. Probably doesn't KO, but like probably near KO, I'd imagine. So we will go for the Terra with our Bloodmoon Ursaluna, Terra normal. Just so like if they have Blizzard or Freeze Dry, it's just not doing nearly as much. And yeah, let's see. They go for Protector Ninetales. Oh, that's incredible here for me because I get a free Brick Break into my Bloodmoon Ursaluna. I do a lot of damage actually to my Bloodmoon Ursaluna. That's more than I expected. That is a little bit more than I was expecting, but I am going to be able to get a Earth Power off into the Glamora here. Yep, goodbye Glamora. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Now Dundozo comes in, I can just go for a Will-O-Wisp to Dundozo, and I can go for a Hyper Voice very safely, which is really amazing because it covers like a bunch of play options that they have here. Let's see if it's that Dundozo, because if it's Dundozo, I'm clicking Wisp into that Dundozo. Please let me hit. Please let me hit. I am assuming the Dundozo is probably unaware. A lot of the Dundozo will probably run unaware with the screen because it makes the most sense. Dundozo does come in, yep. And I'm just clicking Will-O-Wisp here, which I do have access to. So we burn the Dundozo, hopefully, and Hyper Voice and get some very heavy damage. If they protect Dundozo for some reason and they stay in with the Ninetales, like this, it's not looking good for them. Because I'm pretty sure, I guess Alola Ninetales is pretty good Spadef, but this is a +2 Terra normal Hyper Voice from Bloodmoon Ursaluna. This thing hits like a truck. I almost thought about going for Bloodmoon immediately, but I think the Hyper Voice is good enough because I can just Bloodmoon the next turn. I also didn't want Bloodmoon into Protect. Yeah, like Ninetales just dropped right there. So very nice having Brick Break. It actually is really coming in handy right here. Even though I completely forgot about me not having Heavy Slam on the Iron Hands because I'm just so used to Heavy Slam on Iron Hands. But we're going to see the Tatsugiri come in. And now I just click Will-O-Wisp into that Dundozo. I click the Bloodmoon into that Dundozo. I'm going to do a pretty strong amount. I think even through, like, they obviously ignore my +2. If they're unaware, if they're oblivious, then they kind of get screwed here, I think. But yeah, we can go for a Will-O-Wisp here into the Dundozo. We can go for a Bloodmoon, and this should be a wrap. Like, it's looking really tricky. They need a Wisp Miss, but no Wisp Miss here. Imagine if they were Water Veil. If they were Water Veil, I mean, I'm still blowing them back with the Bloodmoon. So they still have Terra, I guess, which is okay for me here. Bloodmoon going to come out into the Dundozo. How much damage we're doing? That is so much damage. I can't even tell. Actually, are they unaware? Or is that just the power of, like, Terra normal Bloodmoon? That's insane damage. Tatsugiri left on the field. Trick Room is over, but the game is wrapped up. I just go for Trick Room, Protect. If they KO the Clops, that's fine. Because I just go Iron Hands, I click Fake Out plus the Hyper Voice, and I seal up the game, or Bloodmoon, or whatever I really want to. So that's insane damage. I love this combo. It's so strong. We have the Hisuian Arcanine, Dragonite, Golden Go, Iron Bundle, Rillaboom, or Shifu. It's really interesting not to see a Xianpao on this team. A Xianpao Dragonite. It's really rare to see solo Dragonite. Okay. Golden Go is a really tricky matchup for this team. This team does not like Golden Go, I'll tell you that much. It really does not. As someone who has played Leonard from the Golden Go player. But I think this should be all right for the most part. Chi is going to be pretty important. I don't know if I'm Brain the Wellspring Ogerpon. It's not bad, but it's not amazing either. I think I'm going to do Iron Hands plus Dusclops for the most part, and then have the Chi Yu in the back with the Ursaluna. They don't have redirection, which is really important in this matchup actually, because if this had a lot of support for like Specs Golden or for Nasty Block Golden Go, I say this is definitely a really tricky matchup. Then again, I probably should have figured out if maybe Ogerpon was a better lead against the Golden Goat, because if it's Specs, I mean, if it's Specs Trick is going to be the annoying one. I think anything else is okay. So let's see what they are going to lead here. Going to be the Rillaboom and Urshifu. Okay. Darker Shifu. Ain't good to know. All right. As I lead my Iron Hands plus my Dusclops, which Biggie Berry and the Focus Sash. Okay, so it's not KOing my Dusclops, I think, in one shot. I think they would have to Terra Dark if that's the case. Let's see. I do want to go for... I could go on a Chi if I really want to, but I don't really see the point of that. I think my play here would just be to go for a Volt Switch into Urshifu if they let me get the trick. Actually, no. It would be to fake out the Urshifu. It would be fake out Urshifu, actually, because they could double my Clops here. So I'm going to go for a Trick Room here and a fake out. Okay. That actually worked out really well because it looks like they're on the offense here, which is great. We're going to see Taunt. Okay. Unfortunate for me. So I get denied the Trick Room. I think I'm okay with losing Chi-Yu potentially. I'm just going to Drain Punch to Urshifu and I'm going to Heart Swap into Chi-Yu. That's actually going to be really annoying. Dealing with the Urshifu is a lot tougher now. I'll say that much. I mean, a lot tougher. But we are going to switch out our Dusclops. We're going to go into Chi-Yu to probably absorb the Wicked Blow. We don't have to worry about anything else. Close Combat Woodhammer would do a lot to the Iron Hands. I don't know if it picks up the knockout, but we'll find out together, I suppose. They detect. Okay. I get my Chi-Yu in for free as they go for what? They did go for a Woodhammer, so they're probably just trying to get 2 Woodhammers off in the Iron Hands. Thankfully, my Iron Hands is super bulky. I'm going to go for a Drain Punch again into the Urshifu, and I'm just going to Heat Wave. The only way they can knock out Chi-Yu is by going for close combat, which means I get a Drain Punch because Iron Hands always survives the next Woodhammer because of the grassy terrain healing. So I think it's 100% worth it, and I think I want to Heat Wave. I could Terra Ghost, or I could go back into Clops. Both aren't terrible options. I feel like Clops might be really important for the end game win con. Actually, it might be better to go Clops, because I survived 1 Wicked Blow anyway. The only way that this becomes troublesome is if they go for a close combat or Wicked Blow plus a Woodhammer into the Iron Hand slot. But they gotta respect the Chi-Yu, I think. They're either gonna Wicked Blow the Chi-Yu expecting to Terra Ghost, or I think a close combat. But we're actually gonna see Urshifu switch. All right, they kind of got me there. Dragonite. All right, that kind of made sense. It's not awful, but it's not great, obviously. Okay. So Dusclops gonna come in. I mean, I am getting some healing, which is nice. I don't know what the Rillaboom's doing. Is it Terra Firing? What item is your Dragonite? It's a Sol Vest, which makes sense. Okay, you are gonna go for the Terra Fire. So we do commit the Terra Fire on the Rillaboom, which is actually kind of good. So Terra Fire, Rillaboom. I guess it can't get burned now, but we'll see how the rest goes. Is this Woodhammer? This is Woodhammer. Ooh, they tried to cheat. They expected the Terra. Okay. Or they're recovering for the Terra. Makes sense. Drain Punch into the Dragonite. All right. Get some recovery, which is nice. It's probably Inner Focus. If it's multi-scale, I guess. I need to figure out a way to reposition. I think I got a Volt Switch here. I'm going to Volt Switch probably the Dragonite, because the Rillaboom's just going to heal it with grassy terrain every time. I think I go back into Chi-Yu. Yeah, I think I go back into Chi-Yu, because I need Clops around. They could double up a slot and pick up a knockout, which is the concerning part. Or they could go for a Taunts. Taunt plus Stomping Tantrum would make a lot of sense. Taunt into Dusclops and just Stomping Tantrum the Iron Hands. I see the Woodhammer, though. They are going to fire off into the Chi-Yu. Is this a double up, though? Like, this could be Aerial Ace, I guess. Yeah, they did double up. All right. Chi-Yu survives. That's not as great as I would prefer here. Okay. So if I go Clops, it's not great. I think I got to go Bloodmoon Ursaluna. Yeah, I got to go Bloodmoon Ursaluna. Okay, no, I think I see the vision. I bring out the Bloodmoon Ursaluna. They're probably just going to go for like really powerful attacks here with like extreme speed into the Chi-Yu plus a Woodhammer and a Bloodmoon Ursaluna. I'm going to go for a Protect with my Ursaluna, and I'm going to go back into my Iron Hands. Or do I want to take the KO onto the I might want to take the KO onto Rillaboom immediately, because that Rillaboom is just becoming so problematic. I think I might. I'm just going to Earth Power the first the Rillaboom, and I'm going to go back into Iron Hands. The reason is I got to get rid of the Taunt user, because the Taunt user is just stopping me from setting up Trick Room. So Iron Hand's going to come in. And we Terra Normal to get rid of our ground weakness, because I don't need Terra Fire in this matchup with Iron Hands. I do want to keep the Terra on. I think like the only thing I would want to keep the Terra on is either Chi-Yu for Ghost Endgame or like Clops for the Terra Dark, so I can play the Wicked Blow Mind game, but I don't think I really can afford it. They do go for the Extreme Speed. Perfect. It is the Wood Hammer. I wonder if I could went for Terra Ghost instead and went for like something else. Maybe Hyper Voice would have KO'd the Rillaboom 2 at this range because it's not Assault Vest, but I don't think I want to take that risk. I do take the knockout into their Rillaboom, which is good here. So it's not awful of a position. It's not awful of a position, I'll say that much, as we do get recovery here. Alright, Grassy Terrain disappears from the battlefield, so no more recovery for the rest of the game. I could Blood Moon the Dragonite and get a bunch of momentum. Is it Golden Go though? No, it's Urshifu coming out. Okay. I do want to go for Hyper Voice. I don't think Blood Moon would take the knockout. That's my concern. I think Stomping isn't KOing the hands at this range. I think I just fake out the Urshifu and hope that they don't protect. They do detect though, so I could have played maybe a different game of going out into... I think I should have went into Clops instead then. I was hoping that they would play aggressive here potentially, but it's not going to be the case. They do go for the Stomping, which makes sense. Okay. Oh, that does KO. Oh, they crit me. That's a really bad crit if I survived, because I did have a maneuver I think I could have done, but yeah, that's not a great crit at all. All right. Yeah, I think I mean, I can go out in the Clops, and I guess I play a mind game of whether I get Trick Room up or not, because I can sack Chi-Yu in Trick Room. And I think that might be my only hope. I think that is my only hope. Gonna go into Chi-Yu. I'm gonna go for Trick Room. If they go for Wicked Blow, then that means I have to Blood Moon the Ursaluna. Do you close combat? You know what? Hyper Voice doesn't KO. Does Hyper Voice KO Urshifu? Probably not. I think I'm Blood Mooning the Urshifu, and I'm going out into Chi-Yu. I basically have to play a mind game here, and I'm hoping that they go for Wicked Blow and the Clops to always deny Trick Room, so they maybe hope that they can outspeed me in the end game, and just deal with Blood Moon Ursaluna if I don't. So let's see. Yeah, okay, perfect. So Chi-Yu goes down. If Clops can set up Trick Room against whatever the last mon is, maybe there's a chance. Maybe. Aerial Ace, that's not gonna do that much. Yep. Okay, Blood Moon gonna knock out their Shifu. If Hyper Voice KO'd, then this was foolish, but so be it. KO their Shifu, which is great because we had like just a little bit of damage onto that Urshifu. All right. I feel like it's Golden Go back, and like I just did not have a good Golden Go answer this entire time. So, oh, it's Iron Bundle. Wait, is this winnable? This might be winnable. They always should expect the... Huh. This is a really interesting spot here because it's actually a mind game. I'm surprised they did not bring Golden Go, but that works out huge for me. Can Hyper Voice KO? I don't know if Hyper Voice with Terra Normal or Earth Power does more. I want to say Hyper Voice. I think it's about the same amount of damage. I think I tried to attempt a Trick Room here. I think they double up the Clops here. And they missed the Hydro Pump. That's the thing. They had to go for Hydro Pump plus a double up in the Clops. Why didn't they Aerial Ace? Okay. And I played aggressive because Protect Trick Room was pretty much the obvious play. Oh, I didn't get the KO. No, I flinch. No. Oh, now it's a mind game. Shoot, it's a mind game now. Do I protect now or do I play aggressive again? Oh, no. You know what? Let's do it. Protect Trick Room this time around. Did I even show Protect? Did I ever show Protect? I don't remember. I don't think I did. Hydro Pumped. Okay. I think that... Oh, they Iron Headed for sure. There's no way, man. There's no way. Here comes a Hyper Voice. And... on the sad part is I could still lose, I guess, if they E-Speed crit. I Brick Break and then... yeah, it just comes down to E-Speed. Okay, they didn't. Whew. Goodbye. Iron Bundle with the Brick Break. We get a KO with the Clops. We Hyper Voice the Dragonite. What the heck, man? I can't believe that. It was looking so bad. I needed to find a position to get Trick Room. It was just so hard to. I got the bait right with the Clops and then hard switch into Chi on the sack because I knew they probably didn't want Trick Room. Thought it was over. They had Golden Go, but they brought the Iron Hands because I guess they were worried about like the Ogerpon plus like the Landorus T with Chiyu. It worked out really well right there. Was got the 2 reads right, which were so important for the win. We have the Fluttermane, Chiyu, Ogerpon, Wellspring form, Iron Hands, Landorus Fairy, and King Gambit. Okay, so this is kind of like the standardish team. I don't know what the general matchup is against this. I think it's like Dusclops plus Wellspring Ogerpon with the Iron Hands and Bloodmoon Ursaluna. I want to say the Landorus could put in work, but I don't think it's necessary. A lot of this matchup is going to be how well do I play against like the Fluttermane Chiyu combination as well as the King Gambit, because if they leave Fluttermane Chiyu, then I might be forced to tear immediately with my Wellspring Ogerpon. The idea, of course, is to get Trick Room up, and they do not have the best switch-ins to a Bloodmoon Ursaluna, especially with that Hyper Voice. They have one resist, which is the King Gambit, but we can burn the King Gambit. We have an Iron Hands to deal with it, so that is going to be our backups right here. Now, let's see, because this is definitely... it's a matchup. I'm not too sure of like, do I bring Landorus or do I bring Chiyu at all? I think like I don't need Landorus in this matchup, especially if it's Icy. Like I don't want to bring Landorus against King Gambit. And like usually they would run the Speed Booster Energy, Icy Wind, Fluttermanes on these teams. So not really exactly worth it to me. I'd rather just have more safety with the Iron Hands, which is a pretty good pivot. It's also like one of the best answers to King Gambit out there. The Bloodmoon Ursaluna definitely is my sweeper, and if I'm running the Trigger mode paired up with the Clops and the Wellspring Ogerpon to deal with Fluttermane Chiyu, just as simple as that. They're taking their time, but let's see. Definitely tricky. I do have to watch out for a few things. King Gambit, if it gets a few Source Dances a bit, it does get out of control. If they lead the King Gambit plus the Wellspring Ogerpon, it's definitely concerning. So we'll see here. Gonna be the Chiyu Fluttermane though. Okay, perfect. As I do lead my Dusclops and Wellspring Ogerpon, I'm just going to go for a Terra immediately and just Trick Room. Let's see what their items are. Going to be the choice specs on the Booster Energy. Yep, we're going to see if it's speed or if it's a special attack right here. So we get to confirm. I'm pretty much just going to Terra Follow Me always. Speed, yep. So Trick Room and go for that Terra Follow Me. You might be thinking why I'm not going for KO. I am not losing my Clops to Specs Dark Pulse turn 1, which I probably lock in a Dark Pulse turn 1 or Snarl potentially if they have it. So always making sure that I get the Trick Room up, and then we can play it out from there, because we can go for like Ivy Cudgel into one of the slots and then switch out the Dusclops and the Bloodmoon Ursaluna potentially and starts racking up the damage from there. What would I think their back is? Wellspring Ogerpon plus King Gambit would make a lot of sense. They could have brought their Iron Hands. We're going to go for the Terra immediately. There is no reason for them to really Terra in this position unless they want to Terra the Chiyu, which I'd be surprised if the Chiyu is this slow on this team, especially with Icy Wind usually. So get that special defense boost with our Ogerpon. And follow me. Okay. As they're gonna see the Moonblast be redirected into the Ogerpon. I take a lot, but it's okay. I should live with Dark Pulse here. Yep. Barely, as I do get Trick Room up. Beautiful. I'm just gonna hard swap now. I'm just gonna retreat to the Dusclops here. I'm gonna go out into my Bloodmoon Ursaluna. Maybe it's a bit aggressive, but like I just don't see a reason not to. Gonna go for the Ivy Cudgel into the Chiyu if they want to switch out into their own Ogerpon. I think that's okay. because I think I have a strategy afterward, which is perfectly acceptable. The only problem is I did have to use my Terra to beat this, or to survive this turn, but I think that is something I just had to accept. We are going to retreat the Clops. Maybe I could have Ivy cudgeled the Fluttermane, but we'll see. Bring out the Blood Moon. They do retreat to Chiyu. This is probably the Wellspring Ogerpon. I probably should have read this. Oh, they went Iron Hands instead, which is actually more ideal for me. Okay, I'll take it. So I go for the Ivy Cudgel into the Iron Hands. So I get some pretty good chip into Iron Hands. That might be in range of Hyper Voice later on. They do go for the Moonblast right here into my Ogerpon. Okay, so this is a pretty good couple of events right here. Okay, nice. Now I can go on a Clops, and this is looking pretty good. This is looking pretty good because Clops is going to have a very fun time against this team. So we bring out the Clops. Assault Vest, not too surprising. And yeah, we've already seen a booster energy proc. I'm going to go for a Hyper Voice, and I'm actually going to Brick Break. Do I want to Brick Break immediately? I think I do. Yeah. I'm going to go for the Brick Break plus the Hyper Voice. I don't think they're doubling up the Bloodmoon Ursaluna. Probably a Fake Out coming out and maybe a Shadow Ball, potentially. They might aggressively double up the Clops, which is fine. They might even try to reposition like Ogerpon. And the reason I want to Brick Break immediately is because I don't want them to go into Ogerpon now. Because if they go into Ogerpon now, that means I'm probably not going to be able to Brick Break because they would just be able to follow me the next turn. So I want to make sure I can get the +2 because I am really relying on this Trick Room endgame. So I kind of have to. Yep, like that. Like that. Beautiful. Is this Chiyu? No, they went into Chiyu instead. Okay, they're going for like probably like a KO into my Dusclops, but I went for the Hyper Voice. Brick Break. Beautiful. Get the +2. Yeah, like even if they went for Fake Out, the worst it was is a Speed Booster Fluttermane Moonblast double up, or they Shadow Ball. Sure, I'd take that because like I'm in a better position, and now I don't play scared. I don't waste my Trick Room turns. Here comes a Hyper Voice. That does a KO, unfortunately, but Shadow Ball going to come out into the Clops. That's fine. We know that the Chiyu can't protect, so I just go for the Hyper Voice here, and I guess I whisk that slot. I don't know. What am I supposed to do with the rest of the turns? The 2 turns of Trick Room remaining. I'm going for... I guess maybe I should Brick Break that slot in case they go King Gambit on Hyper Voice. Might as well. I don't know how much Brick Break would do, but they do protect the Fluttermane, which makes sense. Brick Break into the Chiyu, picks up the knockout. Goodbye. Okay. I was hoping the Hyper Voice would kill the Fluttermane. I guess that's like the weakness of not having the plus or the Terra normal with it. So now this actually makes it quite a bit more awkward. Because this is going to be Iron Hands once again. I think now I just go for Protect with the Blood Moon. I go for a Wisp into the Iron Hands. Because I need to make sure I live any double ups in the future. I think Clops actually lives a Shadow Ball because the last one was Beads of Ruin boosted, right? They just refuse to go for a... Wow, they're just refusing to go for anything that is related to a Fake Out. Wow, okay. They Drain Punch this time. If I Hyper Voiced, I think they were in a really dire position, but maybe it depended on their back. Okay, they Shadow Ball. I think I live 1, right? Yeah, I do. Because they had the Beats of Ruin last time. Yep. All right. I think now I just click Hyper Voice easily and I Trick Room. I wonder if they have Dazzle. I don't think Icy Wind knocks out the Clops. That's a little bit tricky to call. I think just Hyper Voice here is super safe and just Trick Room. Because if we get a second Trick Room up, I think they do lose the game. So they still haven't used their Terra though, which is concerning. So I don't know what their last Pokemon is. If it's King Gambit, it makes this a lot easier, but they do risk the Icy Wind. Does that KO the Clops? It does KO the Clops. Barely, looks like. All right. It does also allow their Iron Hands to outspeed the Bloodmoon Ursaluna, but the reason I did Wisp it was to make sure that the Ursaluna was going to be in a safer position in this one. Okay, it looks like we even survived the next one, which is perfect because I get if this Hyper Voice doesn't KO into Burn, I definitely get a Hyper Voice KO afterward. Ooh, that's close. Does the Burn knock it out? I think it misses barely. Yeah, just barely. Okay. So we go on to Iron Hands. What's the last Pokemon? This is going to be really important. That's King Gambit, right? Yes, sir. That's King Gambit. Okay, I'm really liking this position now. Iron Hands. Iron Hands can't pick up the knock on Ursaluna at this range, right? I mean, I could just fake out here if I really want to. I really kind of want to just Blood Moon. You know what? I'm going to Blood Moon the King Gambit. I'm just going to fake out the Iron Hands. I think my own... depending on the Terra, I guess, of the King Gambit and what the set is. Most of it is usually the Black Glasses or Dreadplate Sword stance set. If it's anything else... yeah, this game might get a little bit awkward, but we'll see. We're going to see the Terra on the King Gambit, which for the defensive typing makes sense. Oh, it is Terra Fairy! Wait, is this a Solvest? I could have just faked out the King Gambit. I really thought it was going to be the Protect Black Glasses. Okay. No, I threw this one. Because I wasn't sure on the damage. Because I thought if this was the Black Glasses set, it was just like a wrap at this point. I don't have Heavy Slam. Well, I don't even know how much Heavy Slam does. I mean, this game might still be winnable, but I'd imagine they have Terra Blast. Wait, was the Iron Hands not a Solvest then? Wait, they only have Iron Head. Okay. Looks like I 3-shot with Wild Charge. What is this set? Is it just Iron Head, Sucker Punch, Kowtow, Protect? It might be. Okay, we got 2 Wild Charges off. We just need to get 1 more. Now, we do have quite a bit of room for it. Okay. They're going for these flinches. I swear that Ironhead is not like flinched at all in like the last bunch of videos that Ironhead has been revealed. I feel like there's only been like 1 Ironhead flinch out of like 30 that's gone off. Or, and that's probably an exaggeration, maybe like 20, but like that's insane. I should have just faked out and clicked Hyper Voice, I suppose. Like, I just not was expecting that one, because I was like, okay, they usually always run a Solvest Iron Hands, the number 1 item on Iron Hands. So like the King Gambit, probably I'm should be super safe because they're usually Terra Dark, and then like I'm in a completely fine situation. Now it's Terra Fairy, and then I'm like, oh, Terra Blast is gonna screw me over. They didn't have Terra Blast. Granted, Ironhead flinches were gonna make me lose the game, but they need quite a few. What was that game? All right, let's go over the games. In game 1, I thought it would be harder to deal with this team, but my opponent didn't go for Mortal Spin, which they might not even have had since they revealed Sludge Bomb. So I was able to decimate their team with Bloodmoon Ursaluna with the help of Brick Break Dusclops, breaking the Roar Veil, and setting up the Bloodmoon Ursaluna with +2, which I still don't even know that Dondozo was unaware or not. In game 2, this match was very hard with the Taunt Rillaboom, which made Dusclops unable to do much. I might have needed to fake out the Rillaboom turn 1 instead, since they can only go for fake out onto Iron Hands, or eat the fake out and I would deny the taunt, and I'd probably be able to live the Darker Shifu's Wicked Blow, even with Terra potentially. I was able to somehow find a position though by baiting the attacks in the Dusclops and sacrificing the Chiyu and getting the 2 endgame reads right. In game 3, played aggressive with the Bloodmoon Ursaluna and was able to do a ton of damage onto my opponent's team. Looking back at the Drain Punch damage, my best play might have been to fake out the King Gambit Protect so Iron Hands went down to the burn, or take the risk, which I made, which thankfully ended up working out. This is a really strong combination, like the Bloodmoon Ursaluna. I think Dusclops is a really strong Pokemon. I thought you would want to have Haze for Dondozo, but like just having Willis by itself is already pretty incredible. Pain Split, it's pretty bulky overall. It's able to tank attacks from like Urshifu, the Rillaboom pretty decently, especially with the Intimidate and the Fake Out support from Iron Hands. Has really strong factors in this format, and it's a great ladder Pokemon with the Frisk ability. It is incredible. If you'd like to check out the details of the team that I used for this recreation, you can check them out alongside the original creator down below in the description. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.